Corn at the center of the global economy. Record harvests and rising prices. Corn is one of the most fundamental commodities in the global economy. It feeds people, livestock, and industries. It influences inflation, trade balances, and food security. And in 2025, corn once again proved that abundance does not always mean lower prices. A record year. The 2024 to 2025 crop year marked a historic milestone for corn production in Brazil. With a total output of approximately 141 million metric tons, the country recorded its largest harvest ever, considering all three planting and harvesting cycles. This exceptional performance was driven mainly by the second crop, known as the safrinha. Higher productivity, improved farming techniques, and favorable weather conditions turned the safrinha into the backbone of Brazil's corn supply. On paper, such numbers would normally signal falling prices, but markets rarely follow simple logic. The paradox of high prices. Despite record production, corn prices in 2025 remained consistently higher than in the previous year. This apparent contradiction puzzled many observers. According to market analysis from the Center for Advanced Studies in Applied Economics, or CEPEA, the explanation lies not in production alone, but in timing, stocks, and demand. In January 2025, Brazil's carryover stocks fell to just 1.8 million metric tons, a historically low level. This meant the market entered the year with very little margin for error. Low stocks, strong pressure. Low carryover stocks create vulnerability. Even when a large harvest is expected, scarcity at the beginning of the year tightens supply and strengthens sellers' positions. At the same time, domestic demand remains strong. Corn consumption for animal feed, ethanol production, and food processing continued at elevated levels. Add to that logistical challenges, transportation bottlenecks, storage limitations, and distribution delays. And prices surged during the first quarter of the year. For buyers, waiting became expensive. For sellers, holding grain became strategic. The market turns. As the summer harvest progressed, more corn entered the market. This increased availability began to push prices downward. Expectations of another strong safrinha reinforced this movement. Confidence in supply weakened the urgency to buy. In the second half of the year, demand cooled. Many consumers chose to wait, betting on further price declines as the second crop advanced and record production became increasingly certain. The market shifted from tension to caution. Strategic withdrawal. From October onward, a new dynamic emerged. Producers began to limit the volume offered on the spot market. This strategic withdrawal reduced immediate supply and helped stabilize prices through mid-December. Some market participants reported difficulties rebuilding inventories. Even in a record year, access to physical corn became uneven. The lesson was clear: availability is not the same as accessibility. The global context, the international scenario added another layer of complexity. Between the 2023 to 2024 and 2024 to 2025 seasons, global corn supply remained virtually unchanged. Production declines in major exporters such as the United States, Russia, and Ukraine reduced global flexibility. These losses were offset by increased output in Brazil, China, and India, but not enough to create surplus pressure. As a result, global prices found support, and domestic markets, including Brazil's, followed that signal. Why this matters: corn prices ripple through the entire economy. They affect the cost of meat, dairy, biofuels, and processed foods. They influence inflation indexes and consumer purchasing power. They shape trade flows and strategic reserves. The events of 2025 demonstrated that even record harvests do not guarantee cheap food. Markets respond to structure, not headlines. The story of corn in 2025 is a story of balance between abundance and scarcity, production and logistics, expectation and reality. It reminds us that commodities are not just grown. They are stored, moved, negotiated, and timed. And in a global economy under constant pressure, even a record harvest can still come at a high price. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel Brazil Agro News. By subscribing, you support independent analysis and stay informed about the forces shaping agriculture, commodities, and the global economy.